So Lou Gordon is Jay Gordon's dad. He managed the band, right? Lou's like, we're going to get you to the States. You're going to come work for us. And I was like, really? Okay. Call Lou up. I'm like, Lou, you're a fucking idiot. You got to give me an immigration lawyer. Like, because this is stupid. Like, they legitimately banned me from the States for like 7 years. I don't know how this even happened, but for whatever reason, Jay Gordon, who's the singer at the time, or still is, or whatever, hit me up, and he's just like, I heard the stuff on the MySpace thing, and you know my friend Steve Duda, and I'm like, yeah, I know Steve. No. He's like, yeah, cool. So he knew I checked out, because Steve is like, pretty high up in the Pro Tools world as a tech and stuff like that. And he's like, yo, you want to remix one of our songs? And I'm like, holy shit, this huge fucking band from LA, right, wants me to remix their song. Neat. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'm doing it, right? So I did that for him. And then there was another guy from the same band who had a side project called Julian K, which is one of the guitarist. No, that's Amir. Well, anyway, one of the other dudes from Orgy had a side project. He had me remix his stuff, and they really liked the remixes. They were like, wow, it was cool. It was all very industrial, as Orgy, kind of was off their massive hit Blue Monday, which is, their cover.
Hey, I love that song.
It was cool. Which one? So Lou Gordon is Jay Gordon's dad. He managed the band, right? Lou's like, we're going to get you to the States. You're going to come work for us. And I was like, really? Okay. That's interesting, Lou. You're going to take it. Because I had just been through a very traumatic fucking immigration experience with fucking Belgium. So I do know for a fact you have to get me a fucking visa, right? Like whatever. You want me? Get me a fucking visa. I don't even care. Pay me dog shit. Like, I'll work, whatever. But just get me that fucking visa and I'll come to the fucking States. He's like, okay, cool. So this is the most fucked up story. So Lou sends me this email, right? Lou's big fucking manager, right? It's so funny looking back at it now, but like, he kind of did instill a little bit of management terror into me because he's just this big, powerful fucking dickweed. So he's like, okay, here's what you do. I'm going to email you this letter, and you're going to show that to the customs, and I'm like, okay, Lou, I don't think that's right. But you know what? Like, and so I'm like reading this letter. It's literally like a half pager. Lou Gordon. I'm like, so it's an employment like agreement thing, basically, is what he wrote. I wish I still had it. Maybe I could find it, but it's just, yeah, I know you're laughing already, right? Wait till I get to the border, right? So I'm like, he's like, no, we do this all the time. Brr, brr, brr. And I'm like, okay, fine, fuck. So I like pack a little fucking bag, and I bring this letter thinking like, there's just no way this is like legit, right? So I'm like, hey, I have a letter from an employer, like on it, and you know how U.S. Customs get, it's like they don't have time for your fucking shit. They don't fucking care, you know what I mean? They're just like, they hate you. So I'm like, look, I don't want to be a pain in the ass, but I have a letter from a thing. He asked me to speak for someone there, like, and they were actually kind of cool about it. They're like, okay, you need to go. Just have a seat, because someone will come get you, right? And so, like, this is the border in Niagara Falls, Canada. So it's no skin off my ass, because I literally live like a 20-minute walk from the United States. So it's not like I'm taking a huge risk here, right? So I go to the border, the thing, I take a cab there, whatever, and then they're like, well, the cab has to go because the cab is not coming into the fuck. Well, fuck the cab, I'll just get out and I'll figure it out after that. I'm like, okay, have a seat. So this guy comes over and he's like, all right, next, fucking come over. And I go, and I'm explaining to him, and I'm like, look, this is what the guy told me. He said, here, I'm to show you this letter and whatever, and then I plan to go, work there for like 6 months on their new album. It's a Punk Static Paranoia, and then he's like, what do you want me to do with this? Like, what is this? And I'm like, I don't know. He said that, like, I show you this and then you let me in. I don't fucking know. He's like, dude, he goes, you need a visa. You need he's telling you need either an H-1B, an O-1, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, well, can you like educate me here so I can go back to this guy and tell him how stupid he is? Like, cause he's like, hey, he's just kind of glazing me over. He goes, look, all right, I'm gonna send you back. You got to get yourself an immigration lawyer. He was cool about it, like, but it was so deceivingly cool because what he ended up fucking doing, he's like, okay, so you have to go back to Canada. I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem, whatever. Like, I'll go do that's what I figured. So, all right. He's like, okay, so now you need to sign this. And I'm like, what? Sign what? Why do I gotta sign that? I literally just turn around. Let me go back to fucking Canada. I'll walk across the fucking bridge. I don't give a shit. He's like, yeah, but you're withdrawing your admit. He kept stressing on this. He goes, you're withdrawing your admission into the United States. And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess technically, because I don't want I want to go home and get an immigration lawyer. Like, I'm just trying to be like legit here. And he's like, okay, well then what you need to do is you need to sign this form. And I'm like, all right, and I'm not like at mature Joel yet. So I'm like, sure. Can I go now? And he's like, yeah. So yeah. I was like, okay, cool. I leave. Go home, and I'm like, my mom's like, what the fuck? I thought we were going to fucking LA to go work with Orgy. I'm like, no, man, like, it's this guy's an idiot. Call Lou up. I'm like, Lou, you're a fucking idiot. You got to give me an immigration lawyer, like, because this is stupid. Like, and he's like, okay, well, let me get back to you. No. I'm like, all right, fine, fucking, okay, square one again. I'm back in fucking Canada. I'm in Niagara Falls, fucking talking to Steve and telling him, he's like, bro, he goes, that's so fucked up. He should get you an immigration lawyer and all that. I'm like, I know. Like, and I'm like, whatever, man. Just let's keep fucking grinding away. And me and him were like working on music and music software together. A couple weeks go by, or actually a couple months probably. And I remember Steve's like, hey, why don't you come by? Like, why don't you just come visit for like a week or something like that? At least come check it out before you make any fucking crazy decisions. Like, because Steve's telling me this whole horror story about how he moved to fucking New Orleans with 2 garbage bags full of clothes. And I was like, and I was like, yeah, but just like, just come chill. Because I've never actually met him, but I've been working with him for 5-6 years.
Oh,
like,
really?
On the internet, right? And I thought, yeah, I could use a fucking break. Because I've been to the States before. Like, I worked in like a programming language called action scripting. So one of the companies that I worked for, we won an award for a Flash-based shopping cart thing. So they flew us out to San Francisco to the Flash Forward Awards. So like, I've been in and out like in that capacity, right? So it's not like a big deal. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I like literally just packed some clothes up in a fucking suitcase and went to the border. And they're like, hey, cool. Like, they don't remember me. They were just like, what are you doing? What's your purpose for travel? I'm like, oh, I'm just going to visit a friend in LA. And they're like, yeah? And I'm like, yeah. Like, who? And I'm like, oh, Steve Duda. Here's his address. And they're like, how do you know a guy 1,000 miles away in California? And I'm like, the internet? I don't know, I've never actually met them. So they're doing their job. You know what I mean? So, and they're like, okay, be right back. And they come back out and they're like, okay, you're going to have to come with me. I'm like, what the fuck? And they go, yeah, no, you are banned from the States. You're going to work. And I'm like, I'm not going to work. And I really wasn't. I'm like, I'm going to fucking hang out with my friend Steve. I'm not working. Like, he doesn't have a job for me or whatever. And they're like, no, you're going to work. I'm like, no, like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Whatever. And they go, you applied, you were here, whatever. Because I guess they made a note of it or something. But they were like, so they thought that I was actually evading that whole like visa process to go and work for that Lou guy. Oh, no kidding. Yeah. And of course, it's all hitting back to me. I'm like, dude, that is so unrelated. Like, I'm just literally going for like a week to hang out with this guy. And they did the whole Gestapo thing, and it was fucking crazy. I was scared shitless. And they're thinking, oh, no, you're going to jail tonight, kind of shit. And I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like seriously, like, I am not going to work. But honestly, so then they legitimately banned me from the States for like 7 years.
No shit.
Yeah, I swear to God. So I'm like, well, fuck, there goes my fucking Hollywood dreams, right?
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.